Big news on the NSA front. Edward Snowden has written a letter, I believe, to the Brazilian government. We will cover most of the NSA stuff tomorrow on the program as we digest. But I think the nature of the letter, the gist of it, is that this is not about security for the U.S. government. It is about power. And that is, I think that has been the big takeaway, that much of the claims of security have been more to justify the self-licking ice cream cone. And we know this over the myriad of interviews we have done in this. And, going back to Thomas Drake and Jocelyn Raddick. There were 4 points in the this trial court's ruling yesterday. We will get to them, but 4 points which essentially were shot down. Understand the just briefly. Let me go through it briefly. I mean, we're going to talk about it tomorrow, but the judge ruled that the collection of metadata almost, quote, almost certainly, end quote, violates the Constitution. Now, there's another question that was also raised as to whether or not the collection of metadata violates the statute that ostensibly authorized it. And the judge did not rule on that. The judge did not feel he had jurisdiction. That has to go to the U.S., I think it's the Court of Appeals, the First Circuit Court of Appeals. This is the trial judge. And the judge then stayed his own decision to give the government a chance to appeal, because this arguably has to do with, arguably, but certainly in the judge's opinion, with national security. But understand that how it's possible that this judge could find this. There were questions of standing that have been resolved now because of Edward Snowden's leak. That is one of the primary reasons. The judge rejected the question as to whether or not any of this can even be adjudicated because of national security concerns, because the government did not provide enough evidence saying that anything has been prevented because of this program. That's why we're hearing this from this trial judge now, as opposed to 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 4 years ago, 5. The other thing to note in this case, which is also interesting, is that supposedly the FISA court has already ruled upon this. This court does not answer or follow the precedent of the FISA court, because the FISA court is almost on its own parallel track, wherein only, it appears, the Supreme Court can reject anything from the FISA court. But of course, the FISA court is not an adversarial court. You don't have a situation at the FISA court where there are two parties going in to argue anybody, so it's unclear who would appeal the ruling out of the FISA court. So this is a fascinating development. Like I say, we're going to talk more about it on the program tomorrow. But it has broad implications. And not the least of which, it also made 60 Minutes look completely ridiculous for putting on their infomercial on Sunday night for the NSA. Did they actually, I did not see it, did they actually sell any souvenirs at the end? Like NSA branded really absorbent towels, or something that, like a NSA branded Swifter or something like that you can...
Just mugs.
Just mugs?
Maybe NSA drones are on the way that will watch you over the skies.